Hi guys, welcome to this new video, and today we have another interview, this time with my student George. George, hi, welcome to
Hola.
the channel. Hola. And as we did in the last one, George is gonna talk to us a little bit about, Spanish, his experience with Spanish, and a little bit of all of that. And also, how he came to me, how he was feeling, and where are we gonna go. Well, George came to me and he was with Duolingo for how long, George? 1 year?
I was with it for about 1 to 2 years.
Uh huh. And what happened? Why did you feel like it wasn't working, or why did you feel like it wasn't enough?
In the beginning, it was working. I was learning, basic sentence structure, but I would take small breaks, and then here and there, they would change the curriculum. I would get lost, and that would
Hmm.
just throw me off track, and
Hmm.
it wasn't working.
Yeah. And during that time, were you ever able to actually make complex sentences or understand natives when they would talk to you?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to ask questions like I can in this class about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the comment sections would answer things, but a lot of the time it was mostly me going outside the app and looking for the answers I needed.
Yeah. Yeah. So what happened? Then we began. You found me, or I found you, whatever that
I
was.
found you. You reached out. I was like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Starting in the beginning, I feel like a new student again. I didn't know as much. Moving to this point in time, I understand more. My listening is good. My reading is good.
Hmm.
I'm able to converse with my coworkers, albeit not in Spanish, but I can understand what they're saying for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, it's more of I can understand words now versus trying to figure out just through context.
Yeah. And well, for those of you who are familiarized with the common European frame of references for languages, something like that, the name is very long, guys. George came to me having almost an A1. He didn't have the A1, but he was kind of close to the A1 level, and now we are in an A2 level. So, how do you feel that change? You say that now you can understand coworkers better. Let me ask you something. When you read something in Spanish, even if you don't understand it, even if it's not comprehensible for you, you know what's talking about, right? You know,
Have a good understanding about what I'm reading.
yeah, yeah. And so now our goal for, we are in March 2025. So our goal is to get, I don't know, let's say, yeah, let's say that by the end of July, August, I would like you to get to a B1 level, more or less. So
Hmm.
that means that for next year, around this time next year, you're gonna get fluent, right? So how
Right.
was fluency look to you? Let me ask you this: how was fluency for you before coming to me, and how is fluency for you now?
Fluency before coming to you is, like I said, was mostly filling in the blanks through context. I would probably understand only about 20% what was said in conversation. Moving forward to now, I'm able to pick up when someone's speaking in, for example, imperative, when they're speaking past tense. I could understand jokes,
Hmm. Yeah,
learning a little
but
bit of slang here and there
what I
in my
meant is
environment.
getting to fluency, which is our ultimate goal. When you were with Duolingo, how did fluency look to you? You were like, okay, I'll get fluent maybe one day if I'm lucky, or how did you see fluency back then?
It felt like I was going to get there eventually with no timetable.
Okay, but so now it feels like more like closer to you, right?
It feels like I'm attacking the problems that I was having in the app. Like I'm
Hmm.
now being more focused with where I need help in.
Yeah, yeah. So now you feel like we are attacking the problems. Are you saying, as you say? Actually, I'm gonna tell you something that I may not tell you here, but when someone wants to begin, I always talk about their pain, right? What it's been difficult for them, what's not working for them. So for you, it's something like that. Why did it talk to you about your pains when you were learning through Duolingo? Because I knew the solution to that, basically. Not because I'm the best teacher in the world, it's just because I've seen a lot of these cases. So now, how do you feel now? How do you feel now knowing that you are a year away, or probably even less than that, to get fluent?
I feel a little more comfortable, more confident for sure in some aspects of my learning. Unfortunately, speaking still needs some work, but with practice, that's going to get there.
Yeah, and I already told you this. Some of your speaking problems are more about being insecure unconsciously, because when we talk a foreign language, we need to have everything under control. So unconsciously, we become very, very insecure rather than anything else. Cool. So what's your goal now with Spanish? Yes, we said fluency, but for you personally, what goals do you have with this language?
After this, learn more languages.
Okay. That's great. That's great. Okay. They're addictive. Not gonna lie to you. They're addictive. Once you begin, it's hard to stop unless life gets in the way. And oh, there's one question I forgot to ask you. How do you feel about the classes? Exactly. Like how do you feel about them?
I like the classes. The classes, like I said, allow me to focus on what I need to work on. We're getting to where I feel like we need I feel I need help in. And for the most part, the tasks have been challenging enough. But like I said, speaking has been my biggest problem, and it's very intimidating.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but I don't buy it or anything, right?
No, you don't.
Good to know. So basically, that was the interview. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about your journey learning Spanish. How are you feeling now? Your goals. But let's do some extra question that I wasn't supposed that this is unscripted. Do you feel closer? I know that you have Philippine heritage, and I know that you live in California, so big Hispanic community. But do you feel closer to the Hispanic world?
Oh, for sure. Especially in my work environment, everyone's noticing I'm actually putting in the work. One of my coworkers says he can understand me clearly, even though conversation is a little bit limited.
Yeah, because you have a good dictation. You have a good pronunciation. Yeah.
So he can understand what I said. It's clear to what I'm able to convey.
After all this experience, would you recommend somebody else on your situation, somebody else who's trying to pick up the language here and there? Would you recommend them to begin this with a teacher and having a much more structured way of learning?
Yes, I would recommend someone who is fluent, who has the know-how and the knowledge to tackle the problems that Duolingo can't. Duolingo is very limited in that it's not like I can go and ask a teacher right away, hey, what does this mean? Or is this how it's said? Am I doing this correctly? Versus having someone there who actually knows the language, who speaks the language, lives, breathes, eats it. It's a completely night and day.
Cool. So that was all for today, guys. Thank you, George, very much for coming today. Well, for virtually coming today, you know what I mean. So that's it for today, guys. I see you guys in the next video, and I'll see you, George, next week. Okay? Bye.
Adios.